What's going on, everybody? It's Ross of Stammer AI, and today I'm going to be showing you a very quick tutorial on how to create a new sub account using the white label API. So if you go into your API and then you go into create sub account, it's going to show you all this information about your URL that's needed and the information needed in the request body. Now you'll note that only one field is required, email. That's the only one that's actually required to create a sub account. All of these other ones are optional. So depending on what information you have at that time, you can add or not add it based off of whatever information that your user is filling out. So the scenario for this is, let's say you're collecting payment from a third party, or you're bundling your AI services and software together with something else. There's another payment transaction somewhere that's not happening on your white label version of Stammer. That information can be used as the trigger, and I'll bring up GHL as an example here. So instead of it saying form submitted, you could think of this as being, Stripe payment submitted, or this could be a webhook. It could be anything as the trigger. But for the sake of this tutorial, we'll have, like, for example, if they submitted a payment from somewhere. In that information, there should be their name and their email, potentially phone number, whatever it may be. That's the information that we're going to use to create the sub account. And because we only need email as a required field, that's really the only one that we're going to focus on here. But this is what the layout looks like. We're going to use the custom webhook action, and we're going to have the event set to post. We're going to paste in our URL that we're getting from the white label API. Authorization is set to none. We're going to create one item in the headers tab, which is authorization, and then write out the word token with a space, and then paste in your API key. And you get that from your white label API page right here. You can just copy this right here and then paste that in right there. And then under body, we're going to add the items that we want to pass to create that new sub account. So for example, we're going to write email because inside the documentation, it's telling us that's the name of it. So we can see we have first underscore name, last underscore name, email, and some of these other ones down here. For this example, we're going to do email, first name, last name, and package tier. And under these options, we're going to use the dynamic values in GHL. So these are going to be filled out dynamically based off of what information is in the trigger up top. So the email is going to be passed, the name, first name and last name, and then package tier. Package tier corresponds to one of the three package tiers that you have publicly accessible to your sub accounts. So you could also do a free trial if you want, but setting it as whatever, and this could also be, you could also put like a check step here that says, what price did they pay? If they paid this price, then set a custom field for package tier to be basic. If not, then do it another way. This could also be just like from the trigger point of view. So this can be customized in other ways, but for right now, we're just going to type it in manually, and then we're going to test it. And once you click the test button, you should get a message response that says sub account created successfully. And if you go back into your sub accounts, you will be able to see the new sub account that was created. In this case, it was this one down here that we created for this test email. So that's the most important thing, is to make sure that you have the email set up correctly so that it passes an email correctly. But other than that, all these other options are optional and are up to you if you want to add them or not. But everything else will follow the exact same format as we typically use within the white label API. So it's always going to use post. We're always going to use your white label URL. There's always going to be the one authorization and token, and the variable items in the body. And that's how you can send data to your white label Stammer application. So that's the quick tutorial on that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.